Margaret in Windsor. Name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I'm married to Childers. I wanted to add this to the video I'm going to put up now, just made. When I mentioned Clyde Lewis and George Norrie, I mean, they have a lot of good. It's one of the few places you can get the truth. But Alex Jones wouldn't tell this either. And yet they did interview this one person who, if this is ever told, they had her on their program and she's nothing but a liar. Now, I mean, it's not funny. She's made all this up. And she didn't know about me. And this is just, she likes this. You talk about the word glorifying. She likes this. She plays into it. I have to believe I have to wonder if she works for the CIA. In fact, at one point a few years ago, there were some people in the know that had a top Illuminati that was arrested in Switzerland or Finland or Denmark, and he was trying to get back to the States here, and he was wanted for murder. So they stopped him there, and he was in jail. And he sent a message to the State Department here to a lady that worked there, was Emily Craig. Now then, she's dated herself. I'm going to put this up again and then get, I hope, to what I meant to say here on this one. When I found out about her, I thought she was always saying that my father, Edward VIII, she was an illegitimate daughter, and she went on this trash job like everybody else has done. My father she did not know this at the time, so I come in later on Facebook telling about my birth. My mom's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. My father never married Wallace Simpson. It was a double that became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And he's the one that's buried at Frogmore, Windsor, with royalty, still being named as my father, which is a lie. My mother was deleted, really, the O'Keefes. She was from this country. And I won't get into this moment why my father wouldn't take orders from the Illuminati, the Kennedys, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers that control your banking and your corporations, global government. Anyway, let me get back to this. He asked this man who's way up in the Illuminati. He's almost like Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg. And yeah, okay. He's Facebook. I didn't know that when I started trying to get people to listen to me. It wouldn't have mattered. It's kind of, isn't it odd that I can't get an attorney? The press is controlled by the Illuminati, and I go to Facebook trying to tell him. Anyway, this man that was stopped over in Denmark or locked up in one of Denmark, Sweden, or one of them, and held, and he was trying to get in touch with the State Department, and he was requesting they get the message to Emily Craig. Who is this person I'm talking about that's been on YouTube? She's been on, I think she's on Art Bell. I don't know that she's been on Norrie's program. I think she was on Clyde Lewis's program. This woman's done nothing but lie. Now then, too late, she finds out that she's already made her statements in the year she was born and the year her mom was supposed to become pregnant. And I put this up yesterday on a video after all the others I put up. And she enjoys this. She's been proven that her DNA, it was paid for, but one of my relatives and her DNA, well, of course she's not. Here's what happened. She got in contact with me when she heard about me. And so she's already left her groundwork to where the Duke of Windsor, who's a phony, a double, not my dad, was her father, and where her mother got pregnant in Germany at an army base at the same time her mother's getting pregnant over in Arkansas, USA. So you get my gist? And I put up a lot about that one in Arkansas. It was on Memorial Day, and the John Roosevelt, son of FDR, who's so much a part of this president, met with the phony Duke and Duchess of Windsor, not my dad, the American spies, and my mom's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. Uh, it's so ludicrous, really. But anyway, she was adopted. Emily Craig was, and a Russian family, and she's getting off on this. She really is getting her name mentioned. Oh me. The problem was she dated herself when she doesn't know her mom, who her mom is even. So this is all a blatant lie. But look at the people who have gone in and helped her, and devoted a lot of time and had her on their programs. Now then, she's dated herself. When I come on the scene here and telling about my dad being married to my mom, and start telling all this, and about that was a double that married Wallace Simpson. Well, she comes on to me and saying I'm her half sister. Well, hell no, I'm not any kin to this woman. And I really despise her. I'll tell you, when she's talking, she gets off on it. One day I hope the truth is all told, and I hope the law acts once in my favor and they handcuff her and haul her where she belongs with a lot of other people. And then she comes back at me and she wants me to go, like I can do anything but this, go with her to sue for the estate of Wallace Simpson. Because she's dated this, that the time she was born was 45 or 44. Okay, you go 9 months earlier. If she's saying the illegal, by the way, Duke of Windsor, who's a double, not my dad, is her father, then, you know, a double's her father. So she wants me to go in and try to sue the estate of Wallace Simpson and what was the double. Well, that money was given, and all that was given because there were people under the illusion that that was my dad. So the money would actually belong to me, you know. And I don't know who ended up with it. I understand somebody who ended up with all that, and it's totally, this is so ludicrous, all of it. Now, where am I going with this? I'm going to lose my train of thought here, getting off on telling about this woman. The point is that when I disproved her, she will not leave you alone. She's gun-ho. Now then, I heard she's going back to England before Parliament. I cannot get it. And then the final slap in the face. Well, she told this lady yesterday, she put up, well, her mother was Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, my mom. You know, it's beyond belief that she's gotten away with it. Now then, she's saying her mom is my mom? Oh, for God's sake. Please. Now then, this woman's been on these programs that have told the truth about a lot of things. And the very reason they won't tell about me and the mind control murders done in patterns, and here's what I meant to say. You would have to focus on me and where I got it and how I put it together. And all this about the book and my kidnapping, what was done to my father, Edward VIII, my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor. And what was done, invaded, and putting military bases all over the UK and made us fight against ourselves. And they've got the monarch here. That's me and my sons, what they've done to us. Okay, I'm going to get to Last Night on Clyde Lewis. And yes, they do know. And his producer was a friend of mine on Facebook until I deleted him. Because I thought, why aren't they not? Well, I know why they won't tell about me, because what I've just said, that after the mind control murders and how I know would lead to telling all about me and my mom and dad and all of it. So they're not going to do it. So last night I'm listening to Clyde Lewis, and he's got this person on there who's come up with a scenario telling about all some of the, like, I don't know if he mentioned Prince, but a lot of the singers, uh, recording artists were murdered, but it was the ones I've said were murdered using mind control. Now, he had this guy on there that's written a book and got it published, and it's about the recording artists. And some of them I won't go back in, but they mentioned John Lennon. And God knows that is proven where I worked. And then Jesse Ventura came in and said it was mind control. Now, he didn't link it to me, Jesse Ventura didn't, but he had to go to Mexico to live after him telling some stuff on HLN, I believe it was. It was CNN affiliate type thing, and a court or something. And anyway, they've renamed it HLN. But he told about HARP and all that, the weather, and when John Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman, he said it was mind control. Now, last night, Clyde Lewis has to know the truth. He has called this man because he wrote a book. He's not saying anything about the truth, about the murders, how they happened. He mentioned John Lennon, but there was none of the truth told about it. He mentioned, who was the man that was LSD? He was out at Larry Flint's at one time years ago, but who was the doctor? Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. And there's something else about that I can't pull up right now from my memory bank. What was his name? But there's something else about that, or maybe I'll remember it later. But anyway, he's blaming it on LSD in this book. And here's Clyde Lewis putting all this up there. When they know the truth about mind control, they indirectly put the CIA and MK Ultra in there, but they don't connect it to the murders that I heard. I heard an hour of it last night. They don't mention me and how they were done in patterns. And some of them I don't know anything about, to be honest with you, that he told on that program last night. Not once have any of them ever told about me or about the mind control murders being done in patterns and what I've said. Not once have they ever mentioned it. Because, and I've just told you, and I thought last night, if you're such a good guy and you're telling the truth, why are you putting this man? He may have done a book, and I can't remember the doctor's name that was, but it was the LSD and all that back then. In fact, last night they were trying to blame it on drugs and LSD. Prince was one that was killed by mind control. And God knows, Mark Robin Williams, he's not a singer, but there's a whole list of them that I've put up there. John Lennon for sure. Mark David Chapman was programmed to shoot him. But I mean, there's a whole list. Not once did they mention it, or have they mentioned me or anything about me. In a roundabout way, they're telling about some of the murders, but they're not saying anything about the truth about they were done in patterns, anything about me, because it would open the door to a whole bunch of other mess that they do not want told. So they'll tell half the truth and they won't go further.